Hello? 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 Thought you might be salvage. You're about to die. You okay? Well, I can answer that. You're not okay. The second you open this door, all the oxygen is going to vent and you're going to suffocate. It'll hurt a lot and your eyes will pop like grapes when the pressure differential gets too harsh. So, here's my plan. When you're ready, open the door and follow me to my oxygen bubble. Sound good? Don't answer. Conserve your oxygen.
Borderlands, the pre-sequel, is the video game equivalent of comfort food. Forget about talks of Gamergate, heated discussions about frame rate, or what is or isn't considered next gen. The pre-sequel is a needed distraction, and a dependably fun game to sink your time into. This is the third iteration in the Borderlands series, and is the first from head developer 2K Australia. The pre-sequel takes place between Borderlands and Borderlands 2, showing the rise of villain Handsome Jack. Jack wasn't always an insane killer, and it's fun to watch as he devolves from being a jerk to a jerk with an immense amount of power. The pre-sequel lets you play as 4 villains from the series. Each character brings a different set of skill trees and specials. Wilhelm can unleash his 2 drone companions. Athena can absorb and throw back damage with her shield. Nisha has a penchant for headshots, and Claptrap has a roulette of random specials. I personally gravitated to Athena. After a number of upgrades, I was able to convert absorbed damage to regenerate my health. Instead of running away from enemies to find shelter, for the latter half of the game I was rushing towards walls of gunfire to keep the battle going. The majority of pre-sequel is spent on the moon, leading to a number of key gameplay changes. The moon's low gravity allows players to leap high bounds and adds a great deal of verticality to the combat. The pre-sequel introduces butt stomps, which allows players to slam into the ground and is a great way to clear a group of nearby enemies. Elements can later be added, allowing players to freeze or electrocute opponents with their stomp. With the moon's low gravity also comes a lack of oxygen. Players are given an O2 kit, or Oz kit, and need to keep an eye on their oxygen level while fighting. Oz kits are never terribly intrusive, air cracks are spread throughout the ground of each territory, and enemies tend to drop an air tank or 2. But still, that question was always with me when I had less than a half tank of oxygen. Should I start searching for an air crack in the ground, or do I rush a group of enemies hoping they drop air tanks? Most enemies rely on air tanks. Headshots in the pre-sequel shatter an opponent's oxygen mask. At times they'll gasp for air before slowly dying, or a nearby air crack could become a point of contention as you and your gasping enemies battle over a source of oxygen. It's a great game of tug-of-war. However, for those worried about playing with the oxygen component, Claptrap's lack of lungs is ready to take on the pre-sequel oxygen-free. Although Gearbox's head writer Anthony Birch helped write the game's story, the majority of the dialogue and humor has landed on the shoulders of 2K Australia, and for the most part, they managed on their own. The moon is basically written to be Space Australia. Each citizen on the moon has an Australian accent, complete with a great deal of Australian slang. The series' sense of humor is mostly intact, with only a few cringe-worthy jokes. For a game that's over 20 hours, plus a number of side missions, it's a miracle the game only has a few clunkers.
Because it kicks so much ass. Get it? Get it? Well, you're gonna. Sweetie pie, open up the door.
Borderlands, the pre-sequel, is a great addition to the series, with its new mechanics and an interesting story and world worth spending many, many hours in. Borderlands, the pre-sequel, gets an 8 out of 10.